coming down 0-1 on this opening map.
That's right, those complexity predictions. You just hold your tongue. We are still certainly in this game. Poison, one of the up-and-coming players that we are trying to keep an eye on in terms of what he brings to the table and just the sheer amount of firepower. How can he be explosive? And if he will continue to be explosive is certainly a talking point with Poison. Mid control going to big. We have 3 players towards that side. They have no one towards A. It's going to be Rush that's pushed up fairly close with the Deagle. Rush observed by Rush. Rush on Rush crime.
Yeah, let's see. Rush squared. Sadly, we could watch him all round. I don't know if it would make for a fantastic spectating experience, seeing as it's big heading over towards the B-bomb site, and this is the right decision to make. There is nobody here for complexity. Obo is over towards short, and he does have config nearby to help out. Poison's actually beginning an early rotation around towards B. Rush here, down towards ramp, getting this information, hasn't heard any footsteps. He hasn't heard nor seen anything. And so this has allowed Complexity to take a bit of a gamble, a bit of an educated risk. Zintares brought down low through the body of Tizzy and Poison, and his scout doing so much damage. And Config and Obo, now they've come in for a bit more. This scout has shot big out of the round.
Wow.
And Complexity, they are immediately in with the response. They're going to juggle. Oh, they didn't get the AK. That's such a shame.
They didn't get anything. They dropped the scout to pick it up, and they didn't even find the weapon in time. Those post-round times are cut off. It's not a matchmaking game here in the Pro League. You have got to be quick and ready to go. Poison, he is quick in this round. Quick scout shots in from the bench side. Big, you know, that's unfortunate. Not going for the full commitment rush with flashbangs. They were just looking to take engagements out of the apartments before committing to the site. They didn't realize Complexity had 3 players there, and with 3 men ready and waiting, they were able to lay down the damage before Big even landed on the site. It's now them left to force up to their own devices here on the T side. Big with some deeks.
Oh, SEASON gonna best Poison there with the scout over in middle. Getting some revenge for the round prior. BlameF now down in the connector, deeked away from tabseN. We know these German Deagles are a little bit terrifying. Oh, another kill from tabseN. This connector now going the way of Big. The last 2 players for Complexity are both over towards the B-bomb site, and tabseN, despite being 28 points of health, is continuing to lay down the pain train. It's only Obo with this scavenged Galil, and tabseN finishes him off as well, thanks to that flash from Tizian. Tizian being a real team player to allow tabseN to complete that run, and it's a 7-1 scoreline for him. He's going to pick up that second round for Big almost single-handedly. That's scary, man. tabseN's been back on form in this new iteration of the Big squad, you know, taking a bit of a hiatus from the high-flying potential that we know this man had for the longest while.
And this is one of his best maps. This is one where we always see tabseN in his element. You know, you give him a Krieg and he is just going to be absolutely tearing through opponents. So keep your eyes on tabseN in this game. Poison, he's tagged him earlier on. He's got to run all the way back. And tabseN down to 28, still with his teammates in middle. Poison playing with fire, but he will be able to escape in the nick of time. Big creeping up there. They are not waiting around, and they will catch that perfect timing.
Yeah, once again abusing this connector, setting up for the A-bomb site. BlameF, only defender over here towards A, while the other 2 B players are in rotation. And so this force buy from Complexity now could get dealt with by Big in round number 4, putting a stop to the short little force buy wars early on. Bomb goes down. Deagles get away with some damage, but now Big know where 2 of these Complexity gaming players lie. tabseN's up on top of the box, finally dealt with there by BlameF, but not before he's kept things in the advantage of Big. And Complexity aren't going for this. They're just holding, trying to keep that damage high, hoping they can get out of the round with something.
Yeah, Force by Wars come to a close here. This is where Big can really start to build momentum on the T side and money as well. Complexity should be full eco after this round. And, wow, Blame, he's just looking to get away with anything. Nice shots. Zintares on 1 HP. Very, very close, but not quite the kill. The bomb might do it, but he's got enough time to run away. So back towards the T-spawn. That AK is saved. Or M4 rather. Lots of guns in for Big, and Complexity has said 2,000 a player. It's time to suck it up and give Big that 4-1 lead.
It's absolutely right, Hugo. Eyes peeled, Mirage, Nuke, Dust 2 in that order. And more importantly, Big exhibit the worst pistol rounds of the tournament, losing 7 of 11. That's a 64 percentile. Now, I'm not quick on the maths. Could be wrong. Looks good to me.
I mean, they win the pistol round, at least opening this one up. They lose to the Force, but Big have actually recovered really, really well by picking up the third round. They go on forward to what should be a 4-1 lead. And Complexity with limited way to stop them. We have this mid-crunch. There's a flash for Oboe, but already forcing fights. Rush is dead. Config will trade with the USP. That's a Krieg given over. That's the best gun the Big, best rifle Big have. Of course, with the exception of Searson's AWP. That is outside of the A site right now, and Big are going for the execute. No one inside here for Complexity. They're going to have to play retake, but in a 4-on-4, this is a viable situation, especially with Blame armed to the teeth.
Yeah, Config swapped that weapon into his hands. Obviously, he's got armor now. He doesn't have head armor, so he's at the full mercy of this famous M4.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear. No one's watched him, but thankfully, swooping in to save the day. Still, that bomb plant was denied. Poison retrieved this Krieg from Blame F's fallen body. Has now got it into the 2-on-2, but it's Tizian's late wrap in through connector that looks to seal the deal. Oboe trying to take these gunfights, leaves himself out in the open. Searson with 2, Tizian on that flank saving the day, and Big, they're able to salvage it. That was still, though, you know, vanilla pistols and that 1 Deg armor on Blame F. You're happy with that round if you're Complexity.
A moment's notice. Keto almost, you know, really lets Big get screwed over there by playing balcony. He's looking over towards jungle as the double CT peek comes in. He just reacts in time. He gets the frag. He trades out Xantares, and he keeps Big in a 2-on-2, or a 3-on-3 rather, so that Tizian can come in on that flank in the 2-on-2. 4-1 lead now. Very, very close, though, as you say, Harry. And Big need to keep their wits about them. That's a nice Molotov. It forces Poison back. He's not got the AWP so far in the game. Of course, Money being a bit late here for Complexity, and with them coming in for this early rifle buy, they are limited in the utility. However, not wanting to give Big any more of a lead on this T side, 4-1 is enough. Complexity look to put a stop to it.
Now, Big have been really, really keen on abusing this connector portion of the map. At the very least, to leave pressure on this A-bomb site and make it pretty hard for Complexity to have much of a read as to what's going on. But in this round here, it's actually the B play. You got to get past Config, though. And they have managed to do it. Tabson was lurking in the connector, as he has done a hell of a lot. He gets dropped, so that's left this into a 3-on-3. Blame F can deny the bomb plant here. Doesn't quite manage it, but he has left Complexity with a man advantage. So now he waits. He knows he's got a foothold in the bomb site, and so this narrows down where Big can be. They now know the opposite short, and if you're Complexity, you've already figured out the Xantares is somewhere up here in the apartments, but he just sprays between the two. Don't know how he does that with the Krieg.
I thought surely that was going to be a trade. Surely that Krieg spray having to flick to the right, he just gets an immediate headshot. Oh, God, like doing it with the AK, that's one thing. That gun's been in the game forever. The Krieg, man, the fact that these pros are so good with it, it makes me feel even worse, because I can't use that gun.
I don't mind that Krieg clip, because it wasn't, you know, scoped in, holding an angle, 4 guys run round and just get obliterated. Nah, man, that was skill, nice from Xantares.
Respect. Big 5-1 up as well. That was such a close round for Complexity. Blame, if only he dropped that bomb ahead of time, that could have been a winnable round for Cole, but instead it's back down to the doldrums, to the pistols, and to what should be a 6-1 lead. Boost up on the wide side of the cinder blocks. Tabson's going to lose his face to Config's Deagle, and even run boosting back into the B site, making sure that Big don't react aggressively. And they're scared of B, and for good reason. Complexity have pushed T-spawn.
Yeah, this could get out of hand. You know, you're going to expect 1. Are you going to expect even more? Because Blame F is still here. And now that they've dealt with the man in the back line, Big, they're going to keep on holding, keep on waiting, keep on keeping on. Keto caught there. The moment he takes his eye off the angle, he gets found, as is the way in many Counter-Strike games. And Xantares up through the connector. That's the bomb drop. This was only pistols for Complexity, and they find themselves in a 4v2. More than doable here.
Do Big even want to go for this? They've left the bomb, at least temporarily, as they try and go elsewhere, boosting a player up into window to avoid noise from the bench side. Jump, it doesn't matter. Obo jumps up from short and he gets a quick D kill. This should be the save for SEASON, but easier said than done with players all over the map. Luckily, BAPS has been clear for some time, and with 25 seconds, things do look good for the save. There is money there for Big. Not a huge amount of loss bonus. SEASON can drop over 2 AKs if he wants. So it's going to be absolutely fine and dandy to continue buying up for Big. But the fact of the matter is, lose one more round and don't save any guns, and you are on eco, and that's when Complexity can make this one interesting. They already are doing so, though, right now, picking up their second round off the back of yet another force. And look at the Kriegs. They are flowing. 3 of them on the CT side. Very versatile.
Yeah, that's such a shame from Tabson. Just a little too wide there on that position at bench. But this is a huge round for Complexity to have picked up. It sets them up nicely as well. Look into the future, right? You'll note that there's money here built up now for the CT side on the back of winning that partial investment in the round prior. They're going to have money to spare. And so that digs them out of this hole they were in. Now in this round, SEASON picks up the pace, flashed into middle very, very quickly. And we've seen Complexity not really challenging mid. A lot of players, moving away from going for these window peaks early on, not really challenging connector either. I think the bench down in mid has definitely changed the way that teams look to approach this area of the map. And for Complexity right now, it is this mid control that's really hurting them. They tried to set up with a double catwalk setup, but with SEASON getting down through mid so quickly, they've had to dismantle that and just fall back into the bomb sites.
Oh. This Krieg is going to be so good on this angle. Though, jiggle Zantares, he gets the info ahead of time. Rush, he fires off too early. That molly's going to trap Blame. He does not have a smoke, and he's being chased down, hunted, hounded into the corner. Low HP, but Tabson's getting spammed, and Config, what an incredible kill. He saves his teammate's life. Good patience by Complexity. As now they can flash through this smoke and come in for the retake. Won't go through it, probably for the better. As Complexity is a very hard round to win. There's smoke in their face. Big, no more utility though, but they do have the Orb connector covering this cross.
SEASON posted up in the connector. Just one member left for Team Complexity here. And no longer.
Look at this kill. I mean, you can't even see him. You're just playing with RNG at that point, but Config spray is directly on Tabson. He was getting chipped away the entire time through those boxes, and that's a big kill considering Tabson is 9-3. They won't put a stop to Big, not in that round. 6 up on the T side, continuing to build upon it. This A site has been greatly generous to them. Complexity with Rush over on A. He will get that early molly down. Where we saw him play this map last for Complexity was constantly getting mollied from out from under Balk. Let's see if that's going to be the same case here. Big's utility has been splendid so far, and they're going to go again just for another one of these fast contact plays. Nice smoke.
Yeah, Rush throws that in, and it does bait Tizian into keeping an eye on lower. Not only did it give Rush a bit of a safe space to escape from underneath the scaffolding there, but it duped Tizian into focusing all of his attention over here. Missed shot there from Poison. That could have been an opener. Blame F and Obo extending this advantage even further. And Obo still fragging, still hungry. Puts a stop to SEASON. Keto, last man standing, has managed to double up here. That bomb down on Tetris. 3 players over towards the connector side. How do you even begin to get back into this if you're Keto? The answer is you don't. Complexity are going to get themselves that 3rd round. The A bomb site finally able to stand up to this offensive that Big have been throwing in.
Yeah, nice to see Poison actually in the server today. Of course, when we saw them versus fours, it was disconnect, some internet issues, some technical problems that, you could certainly argue lost Complexity that game. They just fell short on Mirage against fours, and it was a couple of crucial rounds that came down to the one-on-ones for Complexity that Poison DC'd in. So, yeah, certainly an unfortunate reality, and that is online CS sometimes. But not today. Complexity are here to play, and Poison in the window, watching the cat cross, not peeking aggro into mid. Only one man here in Tabson. He could cheese his way through this smoke, or just try and make the bench jump. Can be heard, though. In the meantime, Big are hitting B fast.
Yeah, Tizian dropped immediately. Xantares has been so good on these entries. They do put a stop to him, but now they've got to stop the rest of Big. Poison delivering inside of the bomb site. He's got to watch out because Tabson dropped around from behind and he just about gets that kill. Blame F now has to lead by example in the 1v2. Tabson and SEASON to beat on the other side of things. And Blame F now easing his way into the bomb site. That nade's going to find some damage onto SEASON, but doesn't spot him over the top of that smoke that's down. Big 7 of 3, and this connector control from Tabson, he's been running it back round after round. It has netted Big so much success in this T side thus far. I think that's something Complexity are going to need to get a bit of a handle on.
And maybe that's something this US Air Force tactical timeout is coming down to, a bit of a chat, a bit of a moment to breathe, and also one for the finances. Go over the money.
Count it again. Get ready to use it, or don't. This looks like it's probably going to be a save round here for the side of Complexity. In terms of the money that they have, it's not going to give them too much to work with. But a 7-3 lead by Big Clan here in the first half of play. Can they keep it on? Can they keep it on? This guy's keeping on. Should be keeping on as well. This is Obo. He is in the middle of a tactical timeout right now.
Yeah, Complexity are playing for Denmark right now, as far as I'm aware. Obviously, Config and Blame have home territory for them, but Obo and Rush over in that side of things as well. It's cool to see Complexity, of course, having to play the EU side of things, and not only the minor major system, but also here in the Pro League as well.
See, this is one of the things I love about this new Big squad, right? In this iteration, you think about Big times gone by, and I think the problem for this team was always firepower. You know, back when you had like the kind of Tizian Gobby era of this squad.
Next Smuya.
Yeah, you know, oh yes, I actually meant next. Tizian's still here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just think firepower was always the problem. Whereas now, you know, they come in with this squad. You've got Keto, who is a bit of a legend for grinding his way into the scene. And then obviously you've got SEASON as well, who looks fantastic on this AWP. As we've seen, besting the likes of Simple. He's been besting Poison in this series now. Xantares, obviously. I mean, man, like, you go through the list. It used to really be Tabson who had to be the man to step up every single game. He doesn't have that responsibility anymore. And then you've got someone who can play a bit more of a supportive role here. Really, that can go for anyone on Big, but it's been Tizian fitting into that a lot of the time. You'll often see he's the man setting up these flashbangs, setting up the utility to set his team up. And Big are really starting to feel like a complete squad.
Yeah, I think SEASON's such an interesting talking point as well, because this guy has just been tearing up the tier 3 scene online for so long, man. Like, he has just been in and out of German teams, showing us some incredible performances, and even getting, you know, to some relevant lands. But we've never really seen him play at the top level. We've never really seen him have a chance to consistently take on some of the best teams in the world. And here in the Pro League, he's got the opportunity to do that as well, as I'm sure he will continue to do so at Big across 2020. And his stats have been great so far, as they are, at the moment, 8-3 for him and for Big, as they sit in the lead on this T side. Complexity looking to force the issue in mid, though. 3 men thrown at the problem. Will that be the solution?
Will it be the solution? You know, that's a pretty good question, Hugo. AWP on SEASON seems to be a solution for the side of Big Clan. He is on one today. Xantares trying to do a little bit of the same. Gets caught out with his Krieg. Can he win the battle? No. Obo is going to be too quick on the draw, pieing down the corner with his rifle. Now we have a 3v4. Blame F, Rush, and Obo looking to hold on to the territory that they've already gained for themselves. Meanwhile, this bomb's going to be working itself into the B apartments. Any second now, they're going to go ahead and execute, find themselves out on the B site. Rush, close cat. Let's see if he can put a stop to this, or at least slow them down. He's good for 1. Can he get 2? That would be the game changer, I do believe. Nope, he's only good for 1. Blame F, though, already here. Looks for the kill, finds it. 50 seconds on the clock. Plenty of time to play with. Obo getting 1 in the meantime. Just 1 player left, and Tabson here for Big Clan. 1v1. Tabson, Obo.
Oh, and he takes the peak straight up.
Good
Damage has
grief.
been traded back and forth. He goes back in. But Obo is cemented on the angle. The hat trick there for that young man. And a 4th round for Complexity on the back of this Krieg.
I think he expected him to come from Catwalk, actually. That's what it seemed like. tabseN really wanted to get to the market fast. Obo was spotted getting a kill towards a Cat player from that A site. That leaves him with, obviously, 2 points of rotation to go con to mid or to, run CT to market. That's the option he goes for, and that's going to win him the round. Big clutch out for Complexity. They needed that one. It will come down to the wire, meaning money is an issue on this CT side. But hey, a round is a round, and 4 to their name. Can they build upon it? No AWP for Poison. Scouted up. Krieg for Obo. He is top of the team right now. Poison, he's got a bit of a gap in that, but he doesn't know if a player's crossed or not, so he can't commit to this one for too long, and a smoke in the window will send him out of this position for the time being. Big have been gifted middle once again. We haven't really seen any solutions to this for Complexity. They threw numbers at the problem last time. It didn't go to great effect. SEASON was able to up them down with that man advantage. This time it's just silent for Big, and I love this slow mid crawl. It allows him to get a lurker in to the window.
This is big as well because they've really conditioned Complexity to worry about this connector. Nice. Now that led to them leaving this mid area unchecked. Thankfully, Poison's gone back, and man, these rounds where Complexity haven't had much to work with have been where they've done some of their best work yet. That's what it feels like. This one here, coming into it with a Scout and an MP9, it's those 2 weapons to get the opening kills. Rush has got aggressive up into Palace. Complexity have a lot of information here, and that's going to enable the rotate of Obo back towards the B-bomb site.
Yeah, 40 seconds here. Time to spend for Big. Time to bleed, but can't afford to wait too long here. tabseN has his work cut out for him, and he's throwing smokes down in middle. Blame is deep in the connector. That's not a position you should be expecting in a 5-on-3. Complexity still playing aggressive with the advantage, and Big being caught off guard. Now they're going to walk into B. Contact play, no utility to make matters known for Complexity. And no one's watching the apartments. They're listening to the audio. They hear the drop, and now they know. Obo sprays and prays. He gets one, and Config comes around the back of the site for the trade. It's going to be a clean round for Complexity. 4 alive, exactly what they needed on this CT side. And on top of that, a free AWP gifted to the hands of Poison. That can really become deadly. The gift that keeps on giving. Because, of course, Poison in Danish is gift.
Nice.
Thank you.
Your Danish is much better than mine.
Yeah, we learned all the basics. We learned the word for marriage, the word for chicken, and the word for kitten.
Cooling.
Yeah, they're all pretty close. Although I think one of them is also a swear word that sounds just like chicken and kitten. Here's the kills going left and right. We won't focus on that for much longer. Bomb down for Big. They're going to take that at the very least, even though they all get mopped up shortly afterwards.
Yeah, the Pro League takes us to many places, Harry. And, last season, no, not last season, 3 seasons ago, God, time flies, it took us to Copenhagen. It often takes us to Odense. And so we like to pick up a bit of language along the way. My German isn't very good, though. Maybe we'll have to talk to tabseN about improving that.
Achtung bitte.
Yes.
Attention, please. We are nearing the last round of the half. That's where we find ourselves, situated at the very, very midway point here of this first map of play. Mirage
right down
and
the
Dust 2. Yes, almost say 50-50.
At 8-6. That's what they say.
All right, boys. Well, that's fine. Just call me out like that, but Tizzy.
Hey,
no,
nobody even knew.
Both AWPs gone in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, you wouldn't even know this double AWP setup was out for Complexity as the AKs bested them at range. Now, Big 5v3. They are not going to activate quickly on the back of those kills. They find them in middle. They don't really know what's gone on elsewhere on the map. We've had a lot of Rush pushing these extremities of the map, thinking about Ramp and Palace being his kind of go-tos. So Big are just going to wait patiently. No one's worried about the back line. And that's good for Big. Complexity not attempting any wild flanks. Instead, they're just grouped up. They've left the B-bomb site open. They're going to play retake over towards B. Big moving that bomb back towards T-spawn, and this is where we kind of see it. They're going to make that right call. Are they going to chance it and come up clutch with a B play because there's only one man here?
The window smoke is down. And talking of down, Blame looking at the ground, waiting around as Big try and move their way towards the connector. They've read it, they've predicted it, and SEASON's going to see his head. He does find the shot through the box as he takes tabseN, Blame F down low, finishing the job. Obo on the site alone. He's got the Kree. The weapon of choice, but the bomb's been dropped in middle. 28 seconds. The cat split is gone. It's only SEASON here left, and B has been cleared up as well. SEASON just playing for the kill. He knows he's got him locked, and he's got him loaded as well. Big 9 rounds at the end of the first half. They put a stellar T-side on the board. Complexity, they need a pistol round win more than ever if they want to turn the tide of battle. Join us after the break for the second half of Mirage.